Here we are back at Mickelson National with Dave Nykirk. Dave, good to be with you again. We talked a little bit about a go-to shot, and I think it's something that we as golfers, think a lot about, but we don't necessarily practice. Tell me how we can benefit from having a go-to shot on the golf course.
Well, it's kind of like always keeping a loonie in your car when you're going to the car wash, Barry. It's, and we plan these things, right? Everyone has good days, bad days, and different days. And we like to get people in a position where it's getting a little sideways, maybe they're getting tired early season. We want to have some way, I guess, for them to say, hey, this is what I know I can do.
Right. Perfect. As part of our pro tip series here at Mickelson National, let's talk about what some of those go-to shots could be. I know what I think it probably is for me, but Dave, give us some tips in that regard on what golfers should be thinking about and what maybe some of their go-to shots could be.
Well, I think a lot of times, especially it gets a bit breezy out here.
Yeah.
We're doing a big weight transfer. We're doing a lot of wrist set and stuff. And on good days it works. On other days, you're like, hey, that ball just went 50 yards right.
Right.
Well, I tend to cover the ball a little bit, limit how much wrist set, and I use my larger muscles, a little more reliable than when things go sideways, the hands, the wrists, and the elbows.
Right. And I don't know if this is the right thing, but my go-to thing for me is a little bit of a choke down, and I really focus on my tempo. Slow that swing down. I probably think I'm slowing it down more than I am, but for whatever reason, I just seem to have better contact, and always am focusing on that, on difficult conditions and so on and so forth. Maybe we'll hit a few shots as well.
Well, let's try it, Barry, and that's all good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Hold down on the club, keep your tempo soft.
Right.
Right. And so a lot of times what affects tempo is what muscle groups you're using.
Exactly.
How you're loading up, right?
Yep.
How you're releasing the club.
Yeah.
So a lot of times what I try and get people to do, you can do this on the range, it's a practice thing. Don't do this on the course till you have it, right? So I would set up with my driver. I always tee a little higher, right? I would set up and I would get the feeling that I'm staying set on my feet.
Okay.
Right? You start getting some weight shift and stuff, which would work normally.
Right.
You get in a situation where it goes sideways. That's why we're getting a go-to shot.
Perfect.
So I would set up, I would leave my weight even, more than likely a chest turn, and the club kind of points towards the sky. So I'm reducing a little bit of variable here, right? So I would set up, right? I would limit my weight shift, and then I would just go to here and turn my chest. Normally a little lower, it's gonna roll a ways, but because I haven't worked so far off of it, Barry, and I haven't added another variable, simply all I'm doing is just rotating all my large core muscles through the shot.
And as a golf pro, it goes dead straight like that every single time. I'm gonna try hitting the driver now.
Let's get her.
I'm not sure it's gonna go quite as well, but let's try. I guess I'll take that out.
Oh, that looked pretty good, Barry. Yeah, and so really the main difference is, for people who tend to rotate less and use their hands more, this is just a good way to get them to actually use their larger muscles, right?
Right.
If you're hinging it here, a lot of people don't have to turn because you can just drop it on the ball.
And you know what I just learned there, Dave, from you was maybe a little shorter backswing when things are going a little bit awry, a little bit tired. That's what I focused on the most there. Of course, my tempo, and I choked down a little bit, but great tip, without question. Definitely something to help. Gonna hit a couple more and see if I can get them out there like that first one.
Jeez. That dog will hunt. All three in play, Barry.
Yeah, all three in play. I'll definitely take it. Dave, I really enjoyed that. Learned something a little bit new. A go-to shot, I think, is something that every golfer needs to have in their bag, but definitely something they need to practice here on the range before being out on the golf course. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Another one of Pro Tips. Dave Nykirk, teaching professional at the Golf Academy here at Mickelson National. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. We'd really appreciate it. Of course, hit that notification bell, that like button. We'll see you next time.